you developing like mold or like a tree? That's a very important question, and you might not have the answer right away. But when I started out learning licks, learning sequences, learning techniques, I really had the ambition that someday I would be able to combine it all and just play. But that didn't seem to happen for the sole reason that I was developing my skills like mold is developing on an apple or something else, right? And not like a tree. What do I mean? Well, this is crucial information, and it can totally change the direction in which you're moving and how fast you're really building the skills you want. Anyone who's able to play freely and improvise, or play high-speed runs and end them whenever they want to, or play lines and just, have that total freedom when they play, anyone who can do that did what I'm talking about here, but nobody teaches it. So please stick with me in this video. Before we move on, go download the free courses, sign up, subscribe to this channel, and go download the alternate picking course, the sweep picking course. It's free of charge, and you can have access to a ton of live jam tracks on our website, guitarmastery.net. So don't forget to get connected. So what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about the huge mistake of learning something here. This is what everybody does, and I did too. Learning something over here, a lick, and then learning another lick here, and then another there, and then, a sequence here and a sequence there, learning a lot of stuff. Wow, how is that wrong, Claus? Well, it's not wrong, but it's ineffective. Because it's like mold, right? It's like, there's a little dot appearing there on the apple, and then a little dot there, and then something here, as the apple is rotting, right? This is a very cool analogy because it reminds you what you need to do and what you need not to do. A tree, on the other hand, develops one cell at a time, like anything else in the universe. Please listen to this, or please understand, please see that everything that develops and develops rapidly, develops, in doubling its own substance, right? Like a human being, we start as 2 cells, then we become 4, then 8, then 16 cells, because they divide all the time. That's called an exponential growth. It's how the stocks developed on the stock market. It's how your housing prices develop. Even though it's not doubling all the time, it's still the interest of interest that eventually accumulates into something completely crazy compared to what we thought it would. That's how everything grows. And you have to tap into that universal power, right? To put it on the highest shelf possible here. The universal power, the principle of this world, is that's how you develop, right? I'm still not getting to the point, am I? No, but see, instead of learning a lick here, a sequence there, and another lick here, I did that forever, then you start developing from the inside out. You start taking one thing and then developing it. This works in the most amazing way, and this is the philosophy behind what I call power licks. One of the pieces of the philosophy anyway, and it's simply a matter of, it doesn't matter if you're playing fast or playing slow or developing melodic lines or licks. Let's just take a lick, right? I used to, let's just, so we're in the key of C here. And we're at the first position, minor pentatonic here in the 8th fret, right? Instead of learning one lick, right? And then, okay, that's a really cool lick. Let's learn another. Instead of doing that, let's develop one thing. And that can be so simple. And there are so many cool principles going into this. But let's say you develop one lick, right? And you really play that and you make it sound like you want to, like top shelf, no compromise. You play it 1,000 times a day because you really want that sound to come out right. You don't settle for just, it sounds a little bit like the guys I'm looking up to. No, go there, right? And then you develop it. You say, okay, what else can I do with this? Well, work that all the way, for a day or two. Right? And you go. And you go. And you might learn another lick, but the only thing you do with that lick is you use it to develop the first lick. So let's say you learn the, right? Then you go, okay. And then you build on it. Right? The thing I'm doing there is exactly that. Right? You're hearing the skill all the time. Right? You're hearing something that is moldable, like you got that entity of notes, and then you're playing, right? That's what you want. You want a growing bundle of variations to the same thing, right? In that position. And then that gradually becomes everything you do with that scale shape, basically, right? Everything becomes one here. I'm in this position. Right? Everything I do in this position is one thing. I do play around all day because it's from the inside out. And when it comes to, so please, take one lick today, right now. And then say, what else can I do with it? How can I add to it? How can I take the other licks I know and then merge them in there so I can develop that bundle? And once I started doing this, I went from, spending a ton of time practicing over here, spending a ton of time practicing another lick, another sequence. And then I just started developing one thing like this. And then I took all the other things I practiced and said, how can I use that to develop this one thing? And just trust me on this. If you can do that in position 1 of the blues scale like this, then you don't need to do anything else for the rest of your musical career. Of course, it's nice to move across the fretboard, right? And that's super easy to learn once you have control of the first position. Super easy is perhaps not the right word, but, it's easier, right? But if you can get the job done in one place, don't go, oh, this takes too long, Claus. I don't want to, right? But it's not going to help you. Once you develop there, you get the reputation of being one of those guys who can make it happen. You play awesome in that one place, right? You can improvise forever because you can develop and, it's just really amazing what that does to you. And it's the same principle again of focus and concentration, focusing on one thing, developing it, mastering all the little notes, the little phrasing, all of that, right? In one place. And then once you can do it, in the same, in the fourth position. You're basically doing the same thing, but it looks a little different, the shape there in the fourth position. So you get new things you can do. So you take the same thing that you're very good at down here and you just do it in another place. And because the notes look a little differently laid out, you suddenly add new details to it. So you develop it even more, right? This is the surefire way of developing explosively. There's just one catch. Because the guy over there, he's practicing 500 licks, right? And he's mediocre at them all because he can't take any single one of them all the way to mastery every time he's practicing one. It takes too long, right? But it seems like he's progressing faster than you are because he's got this lick and he's got that lick and, there's another one, right? But it's all, it's not to the point of, right? He doesn't have it, right? And you do, with a little bundle of things that you then develop. But if you look at any development, it looks slow in the beginning, right? A tree that grows looks like, it takes forever, right? But then suddenly, boom, it's one of the largest entities on the planet of Earth, right? Oh, I don't know, mountains, whatever, right? But it becomes big, right? And it's suddenly very fast, very rapid. The same thing goes for anything else. Anything that develops, even the human body. Anything is like that. But you have to be able to discipline yourself to focus on developing one thing and seeing yourself playing that to the level of total mastery because you have that focus. Then suddenly it really starts... you get momentum, basically. Like I said, it's easy here. You develop it here. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff and merge it and improvise with it. Then you can move it to other positions. And it takes like a tenth, sometimes a thousandth of the time to develop in this position and that position. And suddenly just You just explode. You do it all over the fretboard. And the guy over there who knows 400 licks to the level of mediocre is just way behind. And this is not a competition. I'm just talking about this because your brain is going to tell you that you need to be that guy, but you don't. That guy will never amount to get to the level where he can play freely. And it's not a matter of significance or having more. It's a matter of enjoying playing at the highest level. And you can only get to that point if you have effortlessness in what you do. Because then you can really focus on just making music happen instead of the mechanics of making the notes happen, right? So please, I hope I sold you on this one, right? And again, this is one of the key insights, the key ingredients in my power lick philosophy. And right now we have a huge bundle ready for you on the website, guitarmastery.net. And you can click the link just below here. Go check it out. I warmly recommend that you get yourself a library of power licks. But in the next free course video here tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to improvise at insane levels of speed. Right? Play fast ones, end them in the right place whenever you want to, combine sequences and really just, yeah. So look into the video tomorrow and I hope to see you.